So this is a different conversation because we are going to intersect what's going on in Switzerland with CERN and Katrina and what was exposing Katrina in this documentary, which honestly, NPR News at the time, I think it was NPR News on radio, okay, was exposing about Katrina. What happened with Katrina is still by design. Many African American Creole families were displaced. I remember an article in Times Magazine, the cover was of an African, I didn't know this at the time. I thought it was a cover of, say, the Congo. I'm not joking, because I was seeing a woman of color, a black woman running with her baby, screaming. That was the cover in the Times Magazine. I kept it for years. And it looked like something like there was a civil war going on. Swear to God. I'll never forget that. NPR News was running dialogue, commentary for hours on what was going on as it was going on. Wall Street Journal did an article that the levees that had been ignored, okay, to create the floods. I believe it was Denmark, right after World War II, they have levees too, by the way, immediately spent at the time $50 million to strengthen their levees, because they were looking at, this is something Europeans do. They go long goal. They go for future. They build shit for the future, even if they're not going to be there to enjoy it. And Wall Street Journal, I'll never forget that article. Wrote, what the fuck were we doing? Not doing that for the people in New Orleans. The dome and how people were sent to the dome. Barbara Bush is quoted as saying, this is the best they've ever experienced. Can you imagine saying that? It was very akin to Marie Antoinette saying to the poor, about the poor, let them eat cake. Now I'm going to talk about why this is a dangerous play. Because what I'm seeing is black anger about what happened. Because now you have on camera what these motherfuckers were thinking. How people on rooftops were not being rescued. I was listening to it on NPR News and I was writing. Strangely enough, I was in college during that time and I was writing about it every day to turn into my professor. But I was writing about my impressions and what was going on. I'll never forget that either. And yeah, it was documented. They weren't picking people up off the roof. They did leave abandoned men in jail, just fucking left. Behind bars to be drowned like rats. All of that was happening. But what I find interesting, in the mood that we're in as a country, with everything that's going on, and now let me tie in CERN. CERN has been playing fucking games with reality and portals and doing strange ass shit. You can look at the videos. I've reposted some of them. And one of my, I'm going to say one of my familiars, one of my friends, has been sending me links and this and that and the other. And I'm going to kind of give you a way to look at this from a different point of view, from a point of view, a transcendental lens, not a 3D lens that is easily agitated by injustice and anger. CERN is run by the elites. The elites, we don't need to come up with a different name. We don't have to come up with a name that is shameful. Just the word elite right there. Elitism is a negative word in its own meaning, okay? Just so you know. And the elites are involved. Rothschilds have a castle, by the way, I don't know if you can know this, in Switzerland. I forgot where exactly, but I think it's on the French side of Switzerland. There's a lot of money being put into CERN. Why? Because they're trying to change. And I discussed this with my last live that was brilliant, with this brilliant, who he coins himself a professional thinker. And I agree with him, he is. We kind of touched a little bit on CERN. We talked to us also about things that he was downloading. Now, please take note This is a man who actually thinks logically, and he's getting downloads on 2027. There's a download many of us in the spiritual community are all getting. We're all getting the same number. And yeah, go watch my live. It's on YouTube. You'll see the Native American. Well, it's not really a Native American. It's a person with, it's a rainbow child. Okay, just look. It's a man with a rainbow headdress. Okay, go check it out. But CERN is about controlling the future that cannot be stopped. CERN is about controlling a future that cannot be stopped. The meek shall inherit the earth. It cannot be stopped. Period. And the elite are trying to fucking stop the train. The brakes won't work. The brakes broke a long time ago. And that fucking train is barreling up and down a winding pathway through the mountains of ascension. And it cannot be stopped. So when you watch Katrina, the documentary, and what it's doing exactly what it was meant to do. It's almost like taking medicine, and exactly what the medicine you're taking, whether it's bad for you or good, the packet says it will do X, Y, and Z. That documentary is doing exactly. Now, this is not to oppress, suppress truth, because during Jim Crow, shit like this and far, far worse were on the daily. The fact that this was a natural disaster that gave people of a different skin color the right to harm, because there was supposedly no documentation, it is no different than what was happening during Jim Crow. Under the covert philosophy of cowardly, jealous bullshit. And so the African American rage is valid. I am not going to ever say it's not. It is totally valid. However, we're being played. We're being played to do what they want us to do, which is ignore that this is a class war. We're being played. We're being played to do what they want us to do, which is ignore that this is a class war. Ignore that this is a class war and go right into the fucking mosh pit of race war. If you look at CERN and you look at why they're so hell-bent on stopping the inevitable, which is we win, they fucking lose. New Earth is without a doubt, and there is a new Earth. Even I wouldn't say the cynical mind, but the logical mindset of people. This is why I love this interview or talk that I had with this young man. Because I saw that us in the spiritual world, and again, New Age is not what I'm talking about. New Age, they're all in their little fluffy dinosaur, pink pony Barbie world. I'm talking about real fucking spiritualists. I'm talking about people who are still druids and druidesses in their own right, high priests and priestesses from the ancient Atlantean civilization. Oh, and may I add that all the players are back. All the players are back. The elite, the Atlanteans who were playing funny business with atoms, protons, who were clashing shit, building new kinds of life forms, creating, you don't think they were creating portals? They were doing all kinds of shit. And there were two factions. The high priests and priestesses, I knew this is the wrong fucking direction, dude. What are you people doing? And the elite of the Atlantean, the arrogant, entitled, self-important, the players are back. It's interesting. Fascinates me. So CERN has already been played out in Atlantis. And you might think this is woohoo. I really don't care. Fucking wake up. You better start opening your eyes, because if I told you that there would be a massive lockdown of a complete planet due to a virus in 2016, you would have told me I was crazy. And here we are, 5 years later. So how crazy am I? There are brilliant minds in think tanks all over the world who actually talk to each other, who don't talk to people like me, to be honest. They don't. Are coming up with similar numbers that we are. We're getting downloads and they're getting downloads. Listen to the interview, the talk. I'm going to call it a talk. It's fucking the best I've ever done, because it's a talk about someone who is not part of my tribe, in a sense, and yet he is. And the fact that we're all coming with the same prophecies, the same downloads, is insane to me, in a good way. Like, it's a mind blower in a good way. It's all good. But when you watch Katrina, I caution you, don't get played with your emotions. Do not get played. Do not get played. One of the things that was really tragic with my husband, the father of my son, who was a very famous warrior, very famous, okay? He still studied. And I say this to say, and if you follow me, you'll know, but in case you don't know, he pushed against that memory of that past life for fucking years. Years. He didn't believe it. Okay? The real Cleopatra, the real Alexander the Great, the real Nefertiti, yeah, they're not going to just go, oh, yeah, that's me. No, they fucking fight it because they know there's a lot to heal. There's a lot to atone for. It's not a fucking game. It's a brutal ripping of the soul, realizing I was this, but I'm no longer this, and how do I fucking heal myself and forgive myself from being this? It's not fucking romantic. It's actually quite painful. So people typically deny and delay and fight against it, or go into addiction saying, I don't want to fucking know this. And again, some of us have never been famous, or if we were, if it was in a timeline. And let me move on from that little self-important bullshit for a minute. My point is, some of you were powerful warriors, powerful shamans, powerful high priests and priestesses, and some of you are afraid of pulling out the fucking stop because you don't know how far you can go. Your power is limitless, and you're afraid of it. Meanwhile, the factions are playing CERN games. It's like opening portals, closing them, shit happening, doing weird ass fucking dance ceremonies. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's not good. It's kind of like, I'm going to give it to you on a very small pedestrian level. It's kind of like women when we cry because we're so fucking angry. We're so fucking angry. We cry. And we don't cry because we're pussies. We cry because we're afraid that if we unleash that rage, whoever you are that we're facing, you may not survive our rage. Our rage is a hell that never ends. It could blow out your eardrums. Our rage could actually throw you against the wall. So my point to you is, it's on that level that some of you are holding back. Some of you are playing small. Some of you are not stepping up. The pedestrian race is playing in the hands of divide and conquer and allowing us to be pushed into a race debacle. Don't play into that shit. Watch Katrina. Get educated. I was educated as it was happening. Actually, Katrina is the reason why I literally fucking never watched TV ever again. By the way, on the side note, I wasn't watching it on TV. I was listening to the radio. I couldn't bring myself to see the images because the way these reporters, these journalists on the radio station were describing it, I was there. What they saw and what they did in the dome was bad, but what I've heard is even worse. The level of evil that many of these so-called leaders have been, unmolested by their evil, their pure evil. And you're watching it in action with Gaza. Let's be honest. Let's not stop. It matters. And it doesn't matter if you're white, brown, beige, black, red, yellow. It doesn't fucking matter. If you're not part of the elite, and George Carlin said it so many times, please go watch George Carlin all over again through your transcendental eyes. He was telling us the truth. You're not part of the fucking club. It's about money. What makes you part of the club is money. Insane amount. We're talking about in the billions. And then once you are accepted into the club, there's certain things you got to do. And apparently these people are willing to do it. So what you're seeing right now in this timeline is a playing out of Atlantis all over again. I've been saying it here and there softly, but now it's fucking obvious. And the reason why they're doing that is because they've seen into the future, just like we can, just like people like me can. And they're not winning. Their lifestyle no longer exists. Game over. Checkmate. So that's my point. This is the only reason why I'm doing this live. This is not a discussion. I don't want to debate you. I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm not here to convince you. Take the message or leave it. Take parts of the message and leave the rest. Do whatever the hell you want with this message. But it's meant to make sure that you're warned. Do not play the race game. Do not go in the race card. Should I remind you that many of the white people today that are speaking out for black history to be respected, honored, and healed are former slaves and have reincarnated back as black people? Must I remind you that some of us who were oppressed as women have come back as men who are divine masculines to speak for women's rights? I mean, do I have to remind you how this shit works? Should I remind you of the obvious? If you really, really are a spiritualist, this should be like me telling you that the letter A looks like this, right? And if you put A, B, and A, it sounds Abba. I mean, it should be basic, pedestrian understanding of how and why we reincarnate into different genders, different races, different class levels, different countries, and so on. Should be obvious. Okay? So we don't play in the old 3D template of race wars, only class war. It's the only one. And because it is the one that has harmed us most successfully for centuries. And we win. In fact, we've already won. All we have to do is show up. Show up. There will be people who will play, because not everyone's going to get messages like that. They're not. But I like it if you spread the message. Talk in that way. Talk in unity and not in divide and conquer. All our ancient heroes, from Joan of Arc to William Wallace to, black kings and queens that pushed off colonialism until they expired, and a new leader came in that could be bribed. Things like that were happening all over the world. But we've had examples. Templates. We have templates of great leaders and who, for the long run, failed. They didn't. But here's the thing: their generosity may have lasted their lifetime, and then it fell apart with new people stepping up. Something is happening now that the elite is scrambling to stop. Something is happening that we don't lose anymore. Our wins don't last just one generation. Our wins now last centuries, thousands of years. It is no longer the age of Kali Yuga, the age of blood and steel, metal, iron in your mouth. It is now the nectar of honey. Satya Yuga, the golden age is here. And they're not part of that club. You see, the tables have turned. The 1% are now on their knees, and we are the 99%. There's plenty of land, there's plenty of water, there's plenty of resources. As a matter of fact, water is a human right. It's a basic fucking human right. And yet the elite are buying up water rights all over the planet. Aquifers, rivers, lakes, oceans. By the way, and you must know this, right? You know this, right? That from the ocean are sources of drinking water, right? And it's a way to harness that. What, are they going to start fucking owning blocks of ocean? Do you understand that the universe doesn't work that way? The imbalance is so egregious that it will not allow it. You don't have to worry. You actually don't have to worry. You have to only concentrate on your consciousness. Make sure that you're not in a place of fear. You're not powerless, because the one thing that you have to master is your monkey mind. You have to control how you think, how you see things, and look. how you see things, and look, and do not let your rage be controlled by anyone else but yourself. Righteous rage is not toxic rage. Righteous rage is a very powerful sword that cuts away bullshit and speaks the truth. The sword of Excalibur. For example, toxic rage is impotent. It has no power. It implodes unto itself. It accomplishes nothing. It actually doesn't. And we've seen toxic rage played out in the last, say, 150 years. We've seen it. There are no winners. It's not even a temporary win. So start studying. Start realizing that, for Katrina to come out to be, the documentary to be released at this timeline of all timelines. I mean, thank you for the directors and producers, but it's interesting how it came out. It's interesting how it's gone viral. It's interesting how the comments are of impotent rage. It's interesting to see people who are acting like, and they're innocent, no offense, okay, it's not their fault. But they're not realizing what Jim Crow was. Jim Crow was so fucking brutal that whole families had to leave the South. I'm sorry, you guys have a lot to pay. Strange fruit. And move to the East. Or else they wouldn't survive. And the energy of that is still very much alive as an egregore. So when you watch Katrina, the documentary, do it with, because maybe you were a baby when Katrina happened. Maybe you were a teenager, or maybe you were in your early 20s and you just didn't pay attention. I know I was on that radio fucking I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The pure evil was unmatched. Do you know that they would pick up babies in helicopters and they had no idea who the parents were? Some of the parents, if they had a marker, would mark the baby with their social security number and hand the baby off the roof because they wouldn't take anyone else. There are lots of kids that were lost in the system, and they never found their parents. They basically pasteurized New Orleans. That's exactly what happened. It was pasteurized. There was a time when I would have wanted to go to New Orleans, but after that, I never went to step foot. Because they destroyed an entire culture that had been there hundreds of years. That had been there when the French owned it. Do you understand? The bloodline, the lineage of those people, the mixture, the patois, the French, the Native American blood, the French blood, all of that, the octoroon balls, the fucking... I could tell you stories after stories of what they fucking stripped. They took whole lineages of families, Creole families, some that had been diluted to whiteness, some still in their Creole beginnings, that had been there when before Napoleon sold it. Eradicated. And when I say they pasteurize, I'm not kidding. So, don't get played. Stand the line. Control your monkey mind. Master yourself and unleash your power to manifest. They lost. We've won. But we have, I don't want to say it here. Go listen to that other video. It's on my YouTube channel, Sacred Intimacy Sarah. Go listen to that video. Okay? And you'll understand more of what various different minds are thinking, articulating, and feeling. And it's fascinating, and it's incredibly exciting. Okay? But there's a lot of beautiful... I know a foreign mercenary who fought in NOLA. They said it was worse than Fallujah. Holy shit. That's incredible. By the way, this follow Israelites equal Palestinians. Follow him. He's a brilliant young man. In fact, he's the young man I'm referring to. Please follow him. He's fantastic. Rachel's here. Follow her. She's a doula, a healer. Please follow Jennifer. She's another great mind. We need to follow each other so we can learn best practice. Do you understand? 9 of you are here listening to me. And I am not the smartest, nor am I the most brilliant mind. But what I'm finding out is it's a very small group of us that understand what we're looking to co-create. It's a very, very small group. Meanwhile, people are buying squishy sandwiches and debating for fucking 20 hours and shit like that. Everyone's making their bag, as they call it. I guess it's called getting your bag. And everyone's hustling because it's fucking hard out here. It's not a joke. They've made it so. But ultimately, get your head together. Meditate. I don't care if you meditate 5 minutes a day. Meditate with me. If you want, I'll do that again today or tomorrow, whatever. Let me know. And it's 5 minutes a day. Work on your chakras. Work on your energetic auras. Work on your chi, of the energy of your body. Go look at my video on water, the language of water, by Veda Austin, which is insane. It's insane, the knowledge. She's taking Dr. Emoto's studies to another level. I'm going to repeat myself. But it's worth it because some of you are new. So she took pictures of water. And just go check it out, what I'm saying in that video. It's 28 minutes long. And in that, somebody took pictures of her pictures and put it through their AI app. And it spat out cuneiform and hieroglyphs. I'm not fucking kidding. Water captures energy. It is a crystal, quartz crystal energy. Okay, and it holds memory of your thoughts. And if you put it through a microscope or take a picture of it after you've frozen it, it will show what you were thinking, what you were showing it. I'm not kidding. And this is science. And it can't be debunked. You can't debunk pictures. I'm sorry, you can't. Okay? There's a lot more I want to talk about, but I want to get into the habit of maybe, I don't know, moving my lives until over 18 on YouTube because what I want to say to you, I don't want to be censored. I'm not into being censored. So obviously, none of us are, but in particular, I'm not interested. Water under the moon has been magical for me. Started in May working with the moon and water. Yeah, working with the moon is... I used to actually moonbathe when I was 15 years old. I would strip myself, I'm not kidding, nude, okay, whatever, on a lounge chair. If it was a full moon, I would nude bathe. Not sunbathe, nude bathe. And the color of my skin would have a very interesting sheen that even at that young age, I recognized. So it must have been an ancient thing that I remembered from other lives. And that wisdom I had not forgotten. So just a tip on some of you guys that want to do it. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are here. Again, I want to thank you. Just don't get played. I love how my comments trigger people, so comments are filtered. I love that. Makes me happy to hear that I'm pissing you off. That means that maybe you're thinking or maybe you've scrolled past. To sit in or around water under the moon, especially new moon and full moon. Yes. All right, my loves, I'm going to let you go. This will be on YouTube if you want to check it out. The waters are high. The tsunamis are tearing down bullshit and revealing the wreckage of lies. And so just like they say, hold the line, keep it together. You're on your way. And certain things are going to be lost, but they're not lost to harm you or to punish you. They're lost to give you clarity and the kind of life you want to live. Certainly not this bullshit. So